Heading out on our own with our hope in the clouds, and we're starting to see that we're onto something. Feel it coming, we'll keep running, nothing in our way, and we got no reason to wait. Let the journey take you where it wants to. We'll continue to find our way through anything we face. We got what it takes. Here we go. All we need is an open road and a chance to see a never-ending world that's beautiful. Here we go, with the sunlight on our skin. It's a brand new day, it's ours to take, and we will let it in. This is where the adventure begins.
Hey guys, okay, so it's time. We're going to do the walk arounds of the caravan. I'll do the outside and then Sam will follow it up with the inside. So for the moment, broadly speaking, Great Aussie Caravans 19'6" Xplora, full off-road, off-grid caravan. Okay, let's do the walk arounds. Let's start at the front. Okay guys, the front of the caravan, I will try and keep the sunglasses off as much as I can, but it is quite glary. All right, so extended drawbar, 60-inch galvanised steel, pretty standard. The hitch is the Cruisemaster DO45 hitch, as opposed to the normal DO35, which is rated to 3.5 tonne. We've gone the DO45 to rated to 4.5 tonne for a number of reasons. One, we've got the Silverado as a tow vehicle, which is rated to 4.5 tonne towing. We've got the reinforced chassis and the upgraded suspension, which I'll speak about in a moment, which allows us to effectively get an ATM of 4.5 tonne on this van if we chose to. We haven't done that at this stage. It's still a 3.5 tonne ATM, but we can go to 4.5 tonne if we wish to. We actually run fully loaded about 3.2 tonne. Right, so that's fully loaded. So we've got a little bit to spare, but if I really need the GVM upgrade, I can do it because I've already got the components in place. So the DO45. The beauty of the DO45 hitch is that it is it will move in relation to what the van's doing rather than what the truck's doing. Okay, so they call that reticulating. We've got the breakaway system, which I believe is pretty much a legal requirement now for most caravans anyway. So obviously that's the warning system. The brakes will lock on if the van actually breaks away from the vehicle. Handbrake, everyone has a handbrake. With our wiring, we've got the Safety Dave camera, which is then set up inside the truck. We've got the extra grey Anderson plug for charging our batteries and things when we're on the road, and 12-pin flat. Now the reason why we've got the 12-pin is because we're running disc brakes as opposed to drums together with the suspension. Okay, this little prick here, the jockey wheel, it's only here temporarily at the moment. I do have a trailer-made jack in the truck to use, so this thing's going in the bin. But and the reason being that we've already dropped the van once because the jockey wheel slipped out of its harness. These things, seriously, caravan manufacturers, here's the tip for you: stop releasing caravans with jockey wheels. They should be coming out with either black jacks or trailer mates. The price that customers pay for these vans, and they want a piss little jockey wheel like this, that's crap. All right, so that's gone, but it's on there for the time being. Okay, so the stone guard, and as you can see, she's already starting to tear up. That's because the truck runs pretty close. The way the extended tray is on the truck runs pretty close when we're turning tight. So, but I'm not fussed about it. That stone guard's coming off and we're replacing it with a stone stomper anyway once we get back to the mainland. So at the moment, yeah, not great, but not a big issue. Twin 9 kilo gas bottles, probably a bit excessive for what we do have, because we don't have a massive need for gas. We do have the instantaneous gas and electric hot water, and we've got gas in the outdoor cooker, which we'll show you shortly. That's about it. So the two 9 kilo bottles would probably last us for a long time. We could have gone to 4.5s. I just figured it was just easy just leaving it as it is. Okay, we've got the dual bike rack up top. Okay. A nice big toolbox. Now the front toolbox is split into two sections, so there is a divider in the middle with two sliders. One slider on one side, we've got the smoker oven in there. We've got our little fire pit, and we keep our wooden things in there. And the other one, I've got a generator in. So I'll have a quick look at those. So if you come around, you can see we've got quite a bit in there. That's chockers full of wood. It's got the smoker and that in there. And then we've also got the jerry can holder. This side I carry petrol, albeit that's empty at the moment. The only reason why I carry a petrol jerry can, considering that we don't have a lot of petrol, is that in the truck I carry a chainsaw and a whippersnipper. So that's where the petrol will come from for that. Over the other side, jerry can for diesel. That one primarily is for our diesel heater, which I'll mention shortly, and obviously it's a backup if I need diesel in the truck. The truck also has two jerry can holders, and we put two 20-litre jerry cans of water in the truck for various reasons if we need extra water. So opening this one up, as you can see, now I've got the Honda generator in there, brand spanker, never been used, and highly unlikely I'm going to use it. If we've got enough solar running, or I'm hooked up, or I've got I can hook up to the truck, I've got various options I need. That's purely a backup. It's one of those things. It's nice to have and not need, rather than not have and need. All right, so that's the Honda generator. Okay, so now let's have a look at some of the side cupboards. So this one is a tunnel boot that runs all the way through to the other side. On the other side, we've got the cooker, which we'll show you shortly. On this side, pretty much jam-packed. So we carry our King's blow-up paddle boards, inflatable paddle boards. We've got our mat that we have out the front there. Sam's clotheslines kept in there, mop, other bits and pieces. It holds so much, and it's actually really cool, nicely packed up, and that's that out of the way. That's the vent for our instantaneous hot water. Nothing much we have to worry about there. 3 water tanks. So we've got 65 litre dedicated drinking water tank, and that runs to a filter, and in turn that filter also runs to our Enagic water ioniser, so double filtered basically. And then 2 primary tanks, 85 litres on each, and of course an 85 litre grey water tank underneath. Now the fridge. We run a 216 litre compressor fridge. We didn't want air vents for them, particularly for when we hit the outback. What we asked for was 2 hatches, right? So we can just open those up and allow airflow into the compressor fridge when needed. We do have a shade cloth that actually we can put up to protect those if need be, but we've still got to fit the rail up the top for that anyway. So, okay, vent there is our vent for the 12 volt fan or exhaust fan for our compost toilet on the other side. And then we've got what is essentially an auxiliary cupboard. So open that one up. And that's where I keep all my hoses, electrical cables, filters, all that sort of thing. And it even has its own light if I need to get at it at night time. Okay, so something else I should point out, that Sam named the truck Beast and the caravan Beauty, so hence Beauty and the Beast. Now Beauty's had a bit of a bush wash today, so we are camping, free camping in the bush, and not a lot of opportunity, but we've given her a bit of a clean, so just excuse some parts that aren't all that clean, like the wheels. That's what she looked like before she had a bush clean. Okay, so we're running Mudzillas, 265 75 R16s, and so far they have been really good, and this fly is starting to piss me off. So I've dealt with that fly. All right, we've also added big red gear work lights around the van. Okay, so we've got them at on the off side, the near side, and the rear and the front is the big red gear work lights. So if we need to light her up like a Christmas tree, we can. They've also got, running all the way down underneath, they've actually got the bug lights as well. I've got another fly back, it's the same one. He's starting to piss me off as well. Okay, so yeah, so bug lights, but I don't know if those bug lights are really working at the moment because those bloody flies are pissing me off. All right, so let's have a look at wander around here. Okay, so coming around the back, as I said, we've got the big red gear work light up the top and the Safety Dave camera. All right, one spare on the back. It's a never-ending argument. Do you do two spares or do you do one spare? I figure if you need two and you blow out, particularly given that we carry blowout kits and that anyway, if you can't get yourself through with just one spare, it's got to be a problem. Particularly given that we've got dual axle. If I've blown out two tyres, I'm having a bad day. I should point out as well, thanks very much to the guys at Coastal Caravans in Tasmania. We dropped in for a coffee with Trent Austin and said hello, and he kindly threw a tyre cover on the back for us. So if you're in Tasmania, Somerset, up in the north there, make sure you drop into Coastal Caravans. So they are a new agent for Great Aussie Caravans. So drop in there and speak to Trent Austin and the crew at Coastal Caravans. There's your plug. Diesel heater, as I mentioned, we have the Basco diesel heater. Look, again, age-old argument. Do you spend a couple of grand to put a German diesel heater in, or do you pay $400 or $500 and put a Chinese one in? We could have done that, but as full-time travellers, the last thing I wanted to do was to be out in the middle of nowhere and a Chinese diesel heater decided it wasn't going to work when it was a -5 degree night in the outback. So may or may not happen, but I'd rather pay right first time. So the Wabasco diesel heater, 10 litre tank. Now, if you were running the diesel heater, let's say 3/4 heat, non-stop, you get about 3 days worth of non-stop heat out of 10 litres of diesel. So it's very, very fuel efficient, and oh my, does it work. It heats up the caravan really well. Outdoor shower, we haven't used it yet, and as you can see how dusty and dirty it is, that's what she looked like before she got her bath. But as I said, we certainly haven't used it yet, but it does work. All right, so round to the business side of the caravan. We've got the NCE speakers 2 speakers inside, 2 speakers outside, to a Bluetooth system, stereo system inside the Fusion system. So works fine, sounds good, and we can swap it between inside and outside or both, whatever works. Funky little purple light for outside. I'm not sure if you can pick that up at all, but that looks great at night time. Split door. Most of these are all pretty standard. Okay. Just the one drop down tray. We contemplated going for 2, but we didn't think it was necessary, and we've hardly used 1, let alone worrying about 2. Take this opportunity to point out that's our modem for Starlink, and we've got Starlink just on the table over there behind Sam. Yeah, so we originally went with Out There Internet, and as a booster system, they were going to be brilliant. But at the time when we ordered it, Starlink was not really readily available for full-time travelling. Now it is. It was over Christmas, New Year. It was half the price. Yeah, it's not cheap month in, month out, but ultimately, if we're going to pay for a data plan, a decent data plan for Telstra and or Optus, it's not that much more expensive, and it's been brilliant. We pretty much get great upload and download speeds anywhere in the country. So far, it's been great. Okay, so pretty standard power, external power. Hookups for television and antenna outside if we wish to. We'll come back to that. One thing I'd like to point out is the windows too. Big windows, nice and roomy, gives it lots of airflow, internal and external. Sam will probably talk more about that when she does hers, I'm not sure, but yeah, the windows are great. External cooker, gas cooker. So 3 burner gas, water as well. Okay, so the points for those. So at the moment I've only got the gas hooked up, but we do have hot and cold water as well, which we can hook up if we need it. And at the moment, the jockey wheel lives in the Navigator jockey wheel bag and gets put in underneath the cooker. But that jockey wheel is going, so I'll be able to use that for other bits and pieces. Okay, back over here. My pride and joy, and I'll show you underneath shortly. So, Cruise Master, self-leveling airbag system for suspension. So, basically, in manual mode, power on, I can up or down adjust the both sides as I see fit. Right? Auto mode, when we're hooked up and we're get ready to leave, put it into auto mode, push the power button, and the van will self-level to the best towing level. And that best level is based on how the van itself is packed. So if there's too much weight on one side, it'll obviously adjust for that. So let's go down and have a look underneath at the setup. So as you can see under there is the ATX airbag suspension, and that's on both front and rear. And I've also got disc brakes, so hence the reason why I've got the 12-pin plug. So airbag suspension, with disc brakes, would not go with anything else ever again. I hardly know that the van's on the back, particularly on some of the corrugated roads that we've already been on. Okay, so that was a bit of a quick walk around. Obviously the heart of beauty we probably need to talk about. So we've got 4 180 watt solar panels on the roof, so 720 watts of solar. We run to a EnerDrive full power system, so 2600 watt inverter, 400 amp hours of lithium. We've got, as I said, we've got the what's that, 670, 235 litres of water plus 40 litres in the jerrys. Also up on the roof we've got the Dometic dust reduction system. I do have an extra Anderson plug on the chassis for a solar blanket if I wish to. So look, so far it's been enough power. We haven't had any issues with needing power, not getting enough power into the van. If we're struggling, as I said, we do have the generator as a backup. I can plug the van into the truck. I've got a 240 volt running to my inverter and power system in the truck, so we can actually boost the van from that as well. Obviously, on the road when we're travelling, we're charging batteries anyway. So we haven't, at this point in time, had any need for extra water, extra power over and above what we've actually got. More is nice if you've got the opportunity to have it, but we've pretty much used up what we can. We do have a bit more space, real estate up on the roof that we could probably look at another panel in due course if we need to. I think I probably want to put another battery in at some point, but again, not urgent. Other than that, guys, that's the Great Aussie Xplora 19'6" off-road caravan. Okay, so that was the outside. But now for the all-important inside, and I'll let Sammy do that one for you.
So grab yourselves a drink and welcome to our home.
Here we go! Heading out on our own with our hope in the clouds. We're starting to see that we're onto something. Feel it coming now. Here we go. All we need is an open route and a chance to see a never-ending world that's beautiful. Here we go with the sunlight on our skin. It's a brand new day. It's ours to take and we will let it in. This is where the adventure begins.
So I did decide to start with the bathroom. Throughout the whole van though, we do have the black pack fittings. I've got the charcoal coloured cupboards and the timber grain bench tops and waterfall. So to my left, we do have our shower. I think I've taken shares out in Fusion with the Fusion locks because I've got 3 Fusion hooks for the towels. And I've got a Fusion shelf for our shampoos and body wash. With the basin, we've got the, as I said, the black pack. We've got the bench top being a timber and the charcoal. And we've got 4 drawers on right and left. At the top we've also got 2 cupboards which we've got bathroom accessories in. behind me I do have a cupboard that I use for all of my laundry needs. We've got another Fusion lock shelf which has got the detergents, and I've also got a vacuum up there which is a Shark cordless one, so you can charge it. It does last forever, but it lives up there while we're travelling. I've also got extra towels and some cleaning cloths if required. I've also got the 3.5 kilo mini destination RV washing machine. Down the bottom here we've got a Nature's Head composting toilet, which we find absolutely brilliant. Behind the door I have got a bin here which is just hooked onto the door, which comes off for when we're travelling. The toilet roll, another Fusion lock basket, and just holding some wipes for any personal needs. Okay, now let's make it into my kitchen. This is my pride and joy, and the one that I was so worried about moving into from a house into a caravan. We've got our Dometic 216 litre fridge freezer, and it's a compressor fridge. And we've got a chockers. Next to the fridge is our pantry. We've got the double latch, and we've got 3 child locks on it, which holds onto the fridge to keep the doors closed if they do happen to open when we're travelling. We did have, before I open and show you, we did have a slide-in pantry, and it did not suit my needs and my wants. So we have gone for shelves, and it is quite a deep pantry. It is the length of my arm, and as you can see I have jam-packed it, filled it, and it was so much fun playing Tetris with it. There is a little cubby hole just at the top here for my Sunbeam coffee maker, and it sits up there, and so far it has not moved. It is, and we've been on some rough roads since being in Tassie. On this side we do have some extra cupboards and storage. The 2 bottom ones do not have much in them at the moment, so I'm sure we will fill those as we get further into our journey, and mainly for tin food. This top one, this is another pride and joy, and I know you're all going to say you are so stupid, but I could not leave my home, my kitchen, without all my spices, and realistically I think I've got every spice there is. So let me show you. And it smells like India. All those aromas that come through with all these different spices can be amazing. And yes, I did spend an awful lot of money finding all of these containers just so they could come with me on our travels. Did you like it? Up the top here we've got another 2 Fusion locks. Told you I've taken chairs out in this company, and we do hang our jackets up here, so when we're on the fly out the door we can just grab our jackets and go. And I do have one of these fly sprays which just goes off intermittently, or I've got it turned off. Okay, behind me we do have a pocket for a magazine pocket up the top here, so again if we do have anything up there it's a grab and go out the door. We move to the bench. Here is my Sunbeam coffee maker. It's a must. I think every caravan has one. You've all got your own little versions. This one's got a small footprint and it works really well for us. It's quick, it's easy, and over and done with. Moving on, we've got the timber bench tops, the black pack as I mentioned earlier. We've got the Enagic Japanese water ionizer, and this is part of my business as I travel around Australia. We've got a 2-burner induction cooktop. With the induction cooktop, I've got no oven and I've got no grill, but I have gained 2 pot drawers. Addition to this cooking, I've got an air fryer and I've also got thermi. The only gas needs that we've got are for the outdoor kitchen and the instant hot water. We've also got a camp Dutch oven, and that's if we've got a fire, we can use that too. Okay, we've got the television. Everyone's got a television, and that came standard with our van. From here, we've got loads of cupboards, top and bottom, and I will put some overlay footage in to show you what we've got. This one here though, this one is my little slide out pantry. So this is a mini version of what we would have had here. Let's take a look at our lounge room. We've got the L-shaped lounge. We've got the table that swivels every which way. Move it out of the way. It drops down for travelling. And it's crooked. Another magazine pocket which we keep our computers in. Some decoration. And behind that I do have a little light here which gives us the blue light, and then holding it we've got the white light, and underneath we've got the USB ports. I've got these, they're a must. If you don't like mozzies, flies, whatnot in your van, these little mozzie devices are fabulous. Charge them up through the day, turn them on, soft blue light, and you can leave them on all night. We've got more cupboards at the top here, which I will also show you as overlay. Under our couch is all of our battery system, and Mike's going to talk to you about that because I have no idea. I'll leave that to him. And now our bedroom. Welcome. Underneath I have gone and put 3 baskets, mainly for shoes, and once we've got our puppies travelling with us, they'll have their dog toys in there. And when we've got the diesel heater on, we do need to move them aside because the diesel heater is under our bed. And I know you're all going to say, Sam, you crazy, you've got a white doona. But I'm sorry, I love this doona and it went with the colours of what we have chosen for our van. Got a macrame to hold our hats. I think that's a must in every van as well. We do have hanging on this side, and that's what I wanted, but I'm slowly changing my mind and feel once I get back to Melbourne that is going to be changed into shelving. It's a lot of wasted space and I can't get a coat hanger hanging upright properly. Little bench top. We've got a drawer here and on either side, so we've put our underwear in those ones. We've both got a little cubby hole on either side of our beds, which we keep our mobile phones and anything electrical that we want to have charged. We've got USB points in there. We've got a power point in there each as well. Again, we've got the little lights, And they've also got a USB port underneath. So there is no reason for not having anything charged. There is USB points everywhere in this van. Lucky for us. Seems we're YouTubing everything. Overhead cupboards, mainly for our jumpers and our winter stuff. And being in Tassie, I think we've pulled those out a few times already. This side I do have the shelving, and I'm so pleased I did, because I've got an awful lot of clothes in there, and that's my side. Okay, and underneath the bed, storage. Thank God for that. Let me show you. As you can see, we've got our diesel heater, plus board games and other bits and pieces. Also, this is where Thermi lives when we're travelling. From there, now let's look across the roof of our van. We've got the Dometic dust reduction system. Whilst it's mainly been put in for the outback, once we hit the red dirt, we've hit some white dusty roads in Tassie and we haven't had an issue yet. We've got 2 black Sirocco fans on either side. One is hidden just slightly behind the TV. We've got 2 hatches with lights. We've got 10 down lights throughout the whole van. And we've got the Dometic Ibis 4 heating and cooling system, which has been used for both. And we've been so happy with it. Hope you enjoyed our home. Thanks for watching.
Here we go. All we need is an open road and a chance to see a never-ending world that's beautiful. Here we go, with the sunlight on our skin. It's a brand new day, it's ours to take, and we will let it in. This is where the adventure begins.